Okay, this looks really intriguing. Disney's downfall, how Marvel and Star Wars are sinking. This video popped up on my For You page, and honestly, this is a controversial topic because I was raised on Star Wars, bro, and I fell in love with Marvel. I mean, growing up as a kid, I remember always going to the movies with my dad. It was like, the thing that me and my dad have was going to the movies together. It was like our thing. And it kind of, obviously you get older and that kind of dies out a little bit. But going to the movies has always been like a huge thing for me. I remember dressing up for the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. I got to skip school multiple times when I was in freaking elementary school and watch Revenge of the Sith with my friend. We used to go to the mall and we would go to the dollar theater and watch it out, when it was out of the theaters. And now it's in the dollar movie theater and I swear I watched that movie like 30 times in the movie theaters. Sounds absurd, sounds hard to believe, but I was obsessed with that movie. I loved Star Wars. I grew up on it. I grew up on the prequels. I didn't get this. The first one I saw in theaters was, I think, episode 1. But I mean, I was I was a fucking little kid. So I'm gonna react to this. I love Star Wars. I do love Marvel. The way they've been handling things has been questionable in my opinion. And I have family members that they love this shit, man. And I'm not trying to rub anyone the wrong way. These are just raw facts. And yeah, so I'm gonna watch this video. Let's see if it's good or not. All right. Keep the comment section clean and positive. I don't care if anyone disagrees with anything I say or with each other in the comment section. That's fine. Just be cordial, right? You can have respect for another human being and have a different opinion and express that. So let's watch this. All right, let's go.
I used to think that betting against Disney was kind of like betting against the house, where they would always win. But lately, I really see Disney's kind of in trouble.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hi, y'all. Snarky Jay cosplay here. If you've spent any amount of time at all following entertainment news, then you've probably come to the conclusion that Disney has kind of been on a bit of a roller coaster for the past couple of years. And in analyzing
100% roller coaster, and she didn't define if that was negative or bad or good. It's odd because when I go to YouTube, usually everything that's talking about Disney or Star Wars is completely negative. But then when I go to Twitter, it's like the reverse opposite. Everyone that's talking about these things is completely positive. Well, that's not true. I see a lot more positive though things on Twitter, to be frank. But there have been a lot of projects that haven't just hit home. I think the last movie for me personally for Disney, let's see if you agree with this or not, that has hit well with the Marvel series was Spider-Man. When they had all three of the Spider-Mans team up. I forgot the name of it. Escapes my mind. No Way Home. Yeah. And then obviously for Star Wars, I love the Ahsoka series, when they had Christian Haydenson come back, because I'm a huge Revenge of the Sith fan, a huge Anakin Skywalker fan, so yeah.
some of those ups and downs.
Been a minute though. This came out a while
ago. I've kind of come to the conclusion that it looks like Disney is up Schitt's Creek without a paddle right now. And you might be thinking, Jay, I think you're being super petty about this for no reason. But let me explain. Disney has had some pretty tremendous box office flops the past couple of years. Wish failed harder than I failed AP Calculus in.
Okay, I don't really care about this shit. I only care about Marvel and Star Wars, to be frank.
11th grade, the infallible
and Lilo and Stitch. That shit's my childhood, bro. That shit went hard too. So I'm gonna watch that shit.
Brand Marvel had some tremendous flops in The Marvels and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I watched The Marvels on the plane. I fell asleep.
Quantumania, and while Disney Plus finally had a...
I think Ant-Man movie was really good, to be frank. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people are like, bro, it sucks. It wasn't that good. I thought it was a burst of fresh air, to be frank. And I also love the character Kane. That's not happening anymore, though.
Profitable quarter earlier this year after basically operating at a loss since 2019. Disney does seem to have had a better year this year. After all, Inside Out 2 ended up making so much money at the box office that it is now the highest grossing animated film of all.
I never saw the first one, but everything I've seen, like there's a lot of memes that pop up on my Twitter feed that are of this movie, and it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not a big kids movie anymore, enjoyer. you could probably tell why.
Time. And of course, I would be remiss not to mention Deadpool and Wolverine, which
oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. Banger. Such a banger.
Not only broke
but I'm not gonna lie, the scene with the dog, that was fucking gross. I'm sorry, that dog was disgusting. I don't have like, I think all dogs are great. Love them. Love puppies, but fuck, that was gross. The tongue in the mouth and shit. Ew.
For $1 billion at the box office, but it also broke records and became
that
the
motherfucker.
highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. But
wow. And weren't they talking about, you know, having Deadpool be PG-13?
But the fact of the matter is that
Ain't that
if
something?
you take that animated film and that Marvel film, both of those are kind of outliers in terms of Disney's performance over the past couple of years.
So they pretty much cover everything else, which is good. You need movies like that to cover, you know. You gotta shoot your shot, you know? You're not gonna make every shot.
For
I guess.
quite a long time, Disney seemed to be on top, at least in terms of making entertainment for kids, in terms of ruling the theme park universe, and not only were they prioritizing entertaining kids, but as of 2009,
How are their ticket sales going in Disney? Didn't COVID kind of like fuck them up or something?
they also prioritized entertaining the masses. In 2009, Disney acquired Marvel for the low price of $4 billion.
How is that possible, bro? Like, I thought the Fantastic Four movies were good. I thought X-Men was really good. Spider-Man movies were good. That's crazy. Why'd they sell? I need to go look back at what happened.
And just 3 years later, in 2012, there was that delightful sale that we love to talk about where they bought Star Wars.
It wasn't Disney. Oh.
For $4.5 billion.
Motherfuckers.
And what did they do with those properties? Well, for a long time, I'll tell you what they did.
I don't want to talk
made
about
bank. 34 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
That shit went hard. Never will be topped. This shit was legendary. I am Iron Man. Baby. And just like a snap of the fingers, your whole fucking population of the people watching your movie said, we out.
11 Disney
Straight
Plus
up
episodic series, 2 television specials, and 1 animated series by the name.
Okay. After Endgame. That's what I'm talking about. That shit was the good old days, man.
Of What If. And of course, with Star Wars, we know we got that famed sequel trilogy. We got.
Why she gotta put The Last Jedi on the front? Let me know down below if you're watching this. Did you like The Last Jedi? I might have to break down some of these Star Wars movies because, man, I could pick them apart. Even the ones I love, I can pick them apart, bro. Because I've watched them so much, man. 2
standalone films, one of which performed terribly, and the other.
Okay, Solo is a banger. Oh, sorry, I'm in the way. But yeah, Solo, Rogue One. Rogue One is like probably one of the best Star Wars movies ever made, in my opinion. That shit was fucking good. It was like, there's nothing I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, except for, actually, I take that back. The one scene with the fucking interrogation alien thingy majigger, that shit was weird, bro. That shit was odd.
Rogue One, and since 2019 we have gotten 6 separate television series. Besides the theme parks, Star Wars and Marvel were basically Disney's big moneymakers for the last 12 or so years.
Yeah.
It's estimated that Disney has made $12 billion off the Star Wars franchise.
That's a lot of money.
Counting box office earnings, merchandise sales, you name it.
And no matter what you say about the sequel trilogy, that made money. It printed fucking money. It did. But when you go back and you watch those 3, you have who has a prequel marathon, right? There's a couple things that stick out to me when I do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's 3 times what they paid for it 12 years ago.
Wow.
And Marvel numbers are similar. It's estimated they have earned a whopping $13.2 billion from the.
I wonder what the percentage of the gross profit would have been for Marvel after Endgame, like before Endgame type shit, like all that, and then consider everything after Endgame, and then on top of that, for Star Wars, you can't really do that because they had a lot of good stuff mixed in between. So yeah, but yeah, I'm curious for the Marvel one.
Marvel franchise, and if that doesn't sound like that much money, think billion with a B. I can't even imagine how much money that is. That shit is insane. But I mean, if you've been watching this channel at all, or you
Never have. This is an interesting video though, so We'll see.
Follow entertainment trends, we've kind of been seeing the tremendous decline of both these properties, right? Marvel's real storyline came to an end in 2019, April of 2019 with Endgame. That was almost 6 years ago now. And during those 6 years, we've basically just seen really
I just got chills. 6 years? What the fuck?
middling results. I mean, worth mentioning, Spider-Man No Way Home, and that
was an awesome movie. Woohoo!
it was basically just nostalgia bait. Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, we have to mention, but that is a tremendous outlier, and its success is attributed mostly to the production by Ryan Reynolds. And I mean, there's some
and they also almost didn't do a Deadpool movie.
Acceptable stuff in that lineup, but most of it is nothing to write home about, which is a far cry from the stuff that used to get hyped up for weeks and months on end before that whole saga came to a conclusion. And you might be thinking, Jay, you're being super...
That is interesting, because I used to follow a bunch of people that would like make content pretty much about like rumors and just talking about Marvel projects in general. That's like the stuff I used to like eat my lunch to, right? I used to watch those all the time. Bro, I'm still subscribed to the people because it's cool to check in here and there, but like, I never watch them anymore, literally at all. Same with Star Wars. It's kind of weird, but it's like a whole new chapter of what I'm digesting on YouTube. It's very interesting.
Petty. Marvel did not drop off that hard. Okay, well, let's talk about the fact that Captain Marvel, right? And I'm bringing up Captain Marvel because supposedly Marvel fans hate women. Captain Marvel made over $1 billion at the...
Let's be real, Captain Marvel was clickbait because it was right before Endgame. Everyone was like, oh, we need to know what's happening in this movie before the grand finale, right? I mean, or was it before, I think it was before Infinity War, which, ooh, comment down below, which one was better, Endgame or Infinity War? Man, I don't know. It's a tight race right there. But I think this movie made a lot of money just because of the success of where it was put. Just like how Han Solo was launched in the summer, I think that drastically altered the expectation of how much money we would make. Which is crazy, because when I think of a Star Wars movie, I think of Christmas. Because me and my family would always go see Star Wars for Christmas. It was the best. I fucking love that tradition. I hope Star Wars is still making movies in the future so I can do that with my kids. Because it was a time to be alive, man.
Box office. Its sequel, The Marvels, barely grossed $200 million.
I'm not gonna lie, there's one scene where the cats like eat a bunch of people that I really enjoyed in this movie. It's towards the end. I woke up and but there might have been a couple other things that I missed that might have been enjoyable. But that scene I do remember, and that's about it.
And in fact, did not break even at the box office. And Star Wars wise, let's talk TV, right? Because the last movies came out in what, like 2019? Disney has really made a focus on these Star Wars streaming shows. So one of the biggest streaming shows that was...
I wonder how profitable Disney Plus is. I really do. Or is it how like YouTube used to be? Actually, I think YouTube is still not making money, but it's projected to. I don't know. I don't know the stats on that. I had to look into it. I know it used to be like that. But I really wonder what Disney is really doing, because they don't show their actual prices. Like, we don't know for sure what they're making. That's closed. You know, that's behind the scenes. Like, they'll give us information, but that's all tailored to stockholders, obviously. So I really wonder. You would think that if it was I don't know.
A huge deal that has 3 seasons. Now it's having a movie, and to me, went to hell in a handbasket, is The Mandalorian. Season 1 of The Mandalorian had a finale, and that finale was watched by 5.39 million.
Bro, season 2 though, we haven't had a moment like that. I think that moment, it tops even when Anakin was in Ahsoka. It really did. That moment when Luke popped up in season 2 was fucking legendary, bro. It was fucking legendary. That shit had me chills, and it had me so hyped. That's like the highest probably I digested content like revolving around Star Wars and stuff like this, because I wanted to know what was happening next, what was the rumors, what was going on, because I literally thought that the season we would be watching like Luke Skywalker going on a journey with Baby Yoda, but instead we got, you know, We got what we got, which was cool. It was cool to see, you know, him train Baby Yoda, but then Luke Skywalker became like a throwaway character, which is crazy. And then he meets Ahsoka, but it's like nothing's happened with that at all. What's Luke doing? Like, can we get to like the good stuff? Like, God, I want to see OP Luke.
Households. That is insane. Now, if we look at the Acolyte, they actually didn't even give us finale.
Bro, I just realized it. It's like in Star Wars, the way they're pushing stuff out, we're just going through like the side missions. It's like when you play a new game, but instead of playing the main storyline, you just play all the side missions, and then you just like, oh, maybe that's what they're doing.
Viewing.
Like when Disney's at their lowest point, they're gonna be like, all right, fuck it, panic button, Luke Skywalker.
Numbers
fuck, that hurt.
For the Acolyte, the most recent offering on Disney Plus.
Oh boy,
Star Wars.
I'm not gonna comment on this one.
But what we do know about the Acolyte streaming is that it did not even hit the top 10 for Nielsen streaming reports for most of the time that it was happening.
Top 10 on Disney Plus, or like at all?
It was likely the least watched Star Wars series in general yet. Which
live action, for sure.
Which is pretty crazy considering people were desperately trying to get it put back for season 2. And
yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was actually curious on how they would try to have the story unfold, but there were so many moments. Boy, that show and the Rings of Power, the first season, I've never fallen asleep in those shows bro, that was crazy. I fell asleep so much watching both of those shows. I can't differ which one was more sleepier material. Like, it was crazy, and I had to rewatch it and I'd be like, wait, you're telling me this chick just buckled up and, you know, didn't die free falling from space? Just skidded on the snow like a little frisbee. It was like, all right, what are we doing here? And I gave it a fair shot, but man, it didn't. There was a lot of, and this is the coolest part about the Acolyte. I'm not trying to hate on the Acolyte because a lot of people like different things in Star Wars than I like, and I don't like when they hate on it, so I'm not going to try to do that, right? Everyone has their own opinion. I'm not trying to piss people off. I'm not. I'm just talking about something I love. I do love Star Wars, and what I loved about the Acolyte was they introduced so much stuff from the lore, and the way they handled it might have been a little odd. And, you know, kind of underwhelming, but like, hey, like they showed us bleeding a lightsaber, and people argue about like, you know, oh, that's not how it works, and yada yada yada. Like, Anakin should have bled his lightsaber when he killed all the kids, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. You know, it's fine. You know, I actually don't want to talk about it. Let's go past this.
Its numbers were that terrible, and the show cost $230 million, but that's not my business. And what
is that official?
What do these properties have coming up next? Well, with Marvel, we have a bunch of random nonsense projects like...
I feel like we've been having random projects for nonstop. Like, the last project I went and saw was Daredevil, and before that, I don't even remember Loki 2. That shit went hard. Loki went... That was so unexpected.
Thunderbolts, which nobody asked for, yet seems to be coming out.
Oh, that's coming out.
Own sort of Suicide Squad.
Look at this guy. He kind of looks like Aragorn. Look, it's the Ranger.
Anyway, as Marvel's own sort of Suicide Squad. But in terms of Star Wars, we have Skeleton Crew.
What? What is that? And I'm not hating, bro, because obviously Star Wars is for kids, right? Let me see this, though. I haven't even seen anything about this movie or TV show. That's kind of neat. I think, wow, that's so animated. That is crazy. I think what is really odd to me, because with Disney's amount of money, you would think that they would have, like, it would feel more of a rich, alien-centered focus. And it seems like in all the projects, excuse me, all the projects they do, there's, like, no aliens at all. There's, like, one. They'll always have one, but that's it. It's like having... It's like the designated fat friend, or designated black friend, or designated, you know, it's like they're just trying to throw... I don't know if it's like a DEI thing. They're just like, all right, we're going to have, you know, one alien here so it can still feel like it's a sci-fi. I don't know. It's kind of odd, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's weird, bro. It's really weird.
Do you hear the crickets? And we also have a new Rey Skywalker movie. It's going to be her.
That's been rumored for a long time. I don't know if this will come to light, but you know what? When it comes to Kathleen Kennedy, I'm pretty sure it will. I'm optimistic that it could be better. Hopefully they have a good writer.
Solo venture, which is weird considering she pretty much had a trilogy around her. And of course, we know the director of this is an activist who has no experience with Star Wars, but we already know.
What is this trend, bro? Why do we have this trend? Oh my god, we have this trend where everybody wants to have someone that doesn't fucking know the. Oh, no. Panic button yet? I don't know. We'll see. But it is eerie how, like, so many projects that I love, the people that are, like, leading the projects have no idea what the project, like, I love this project. Why are you touching this project? What are you doing? Like, and it's, I don't know this lady. Obviously, this is news to me, right? I haven't been really plugged in that much. But she might be one of the top directors or producers or whatever it is. And that's cool. Like, if someone said, hey, we're going to have Michael Bay, you know, direct a Star Wars movie back in, like, whenever Transformers came out, I'd be like, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome, right? And fuck if I know if he's an activist or whatever. I don't pay attention to these people. I don't really care if they're, like, activists or whatever. As long as, like, I can separate the art from the artist, I'm good. But if the artist, like, lifestyle and views and ethics and morals and political culture and all that shit is synced into the project where I can tell, I'm like, let me guess what kind of guy this is. Oh, he's a liberal. Oh, he's a Republican. Oh, whatever, you know? Then that's an issue to me because I should be immersed in a project. I should feel like, because when you watch a movie, you want to be transformed to a different time, to a different space, to live in something you can't live in, right? You want to not worry about, you know, the shit you got going on with your life, man. And when you don't have when you have moments that just like break that immersion, it's like, fuck, this sucks. And now I'm thinking about my bills.
Star Wars, but we already knew that was coming. So not only is Disney struggling with Marvel and Star Wars, which seem to be their guaranteed moneymakers, you slap that label on anything and it's guaranteed to fly off the shelves. Not only are they struggling with that, but even their own live action remakes. Snow White, which is technically the...
Okay, here we go. This is a perfect example. I don't care about Snow White. I watched it a couple times when I was a kid because I had to, right? I'd rather watch Pokemon or Power Rangers or fucking the Bionicle movies or whatever it might be, right? I don't even want to watch Snow White, but I have, right? Okay, guess what? Whatever, 30, 20, 10 years later, not 30 because I'm not 30. Calm down. Not yet. I kind of look a little young. They have a remake. I don't give a fuck about this shit. I don't. I cared about The Lion King because that shit went hard. I heard they're doing a Snow White movie. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Okay? But then constantly blaring, oh, Snow White character, the actor, she's an activist. She said this. She said that. And I see these clips out of context on Twitter and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? What is going on? Because I understand like the stigma that's behind Hollywood and everything like that. But this shit is unhinged. Like crazy. Like shit you should not be saying out loud.
Princess, the animated film that started Walt Disney in 1938. That was the...
I don't give a fuck about that. I don't. But guess what? You're a fucking actor. Get a PR team. Shit.
Feature-length animated thing. And now, what do we have? A live-action remake starring...
Okay, so this is what actually happened. I didn't follow up on it because I didn't really give a fuck, right? I thought it was just crazy. So they have doors. I thought they weren't going to have doors in it. That was the whole talk. They were going to have dwarves in a Snow White movie. I was like, what are you doing?
A star who continuously talks shit about how much she used to hate it and how much she despises the romance and how it's going to be nothing like what it once was and how it's basically going to be Snow White.
Snow White had... Oh, yeah, it did. So they don't have a prince?
In name only, because everything is wrong with women wanting love. We all need to now be surrounded by our dreams for girl power and responsibility. I don't know.
Welcome to 2024, everybody.
As
Good
a
old
strong,
days.
independent woman, I don't dream of more responsibility. I dream of Hugh Jackman coming and rescuing me. So I'm okay with the romance stories, but apparently we can't be anymore. Anyways, Disney does really seem to be struggling. They seem to be struggling to figure out what to do next. And does it bring me joy to see them struggle? No. I mean, I love Disney. I grew up on Disney.
It is so frustrating watching all these decisions be made, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we keep on doing this? Why? But it's like, I need to not hit my head. I had a head injury like a month ago or so. And it's like, I do not enjoy seeing them fail. I do not. What I do enjoy, though, is when someone points out straight up facts that resonate with me, and I'm like, yeah, this guy's got a point. Like, I do enjoy that. I do, because then it's like, am I going crazy? Am I the problem? Why don't I like this? I was raised on this shit. I loved it. What's happening right now? Is this just not for me anymore? Am I too old for this shit? And then shit will come out and I'm like, holy fuck, no, it's not. I love this shit. I'm still the audience. So yeah, it's fucking frustrating that shit's happening. It really is. But I enjoy when someone points out why they're fucking wrong, why this shit flopped. Yes, call me a hater, call me a fucking a fucking grifter or whatever it is. I'm not that guy. I do enjoy listening to that shit because sometimes they're fucking right, and sometimes they go way too hard because grifting is financially very successful. It is. It 100% is. It's crazy how hate watching is a thing. I didn't understand that until I posted a video that a lot of people didn't agree with, and that shit popped off, and all I was getting was hate comment after hate comment after hate comment, and I was like, what the fuck? And that's a little different than you know, hate watching, but it's crazy to see how hate pushes things forward. I don't like it. I'm always gonna be authentic and real and say my authentic opinion.
I grew up on Pixar.
Yeah.
I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. So to me, to see these things continuously fail
sucks.
Doesn't bring me any amount of joy. But what does bring me satisfaction is when the people vote with their wallets and with their viewership time, and these projects that are basically made for nobody, made just for the people.
I agree with that 100%. And that's actually the most frustrating part about the sequel trilogy, because I wanted something else. What we got, there's parts of it that I fucking love. Do I love it completely? No. Is that okay? Yes, it's my opinion. Don't kill me. Don't hate me because of that. It's just a simple opinion. You can't just go changing your opinion to fucking meet other people's standards. That's not how opinions work. Or at least to me, that's not how it fucking works. So yeah, for the sequel trilogy, was I disappointed? Yeah, I was. And how financially successful it was, did that irritate me? A little bit. It did. What the fuck just happened? My whole fucking screen just like turned sideways. Okay. We're gonna continue this video because my shit is fucking crooked. The screen isn't, but my other monitor is.
That made them, essentially. It is literally by them for them. It's not for us. It does bring me satisfaction to see that people respond to that, because eventually Disney's going to either have to decide to dig in their heels and...
or hopefully sell. Hopefully. But that's not something I hope for, really. Jesus Christ, my fucking screen is fucking up right now. I'm getting hacked or something. Oh, God.
Lose themselves and their stockholders a shit ton of money, or they're going to have to listen and make some changes. But I suppose only time will tell. At the end of the day, it's not like we're about to see Disney declare bankruptcy or anything like that. I'm not stupid enough to fool myself or any of you into thinking that.
I've heard a lot of conspiracies about that, which is really, really fucking odd. I do not see how such a super corporation would be able to get, like, sold. Unless they're getting bought by someone, like, huge, like Google or something. But even then, I don't think that would happen. They have so much fucking money. And they have such rich IP that has such rich nostalgia that a simple 3 movies could, like, probably save everything, right?
Still raking in loads of money from pretty much every other avenue, but it's definitely not all a bed of roses, so I guess only time will tell in the next coming years how these new Marvel and Star Wars and Disney itself projects come out. I don't think anything is going to bode well for Marvel projects like Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts. I definitely don't see that Rey Solo movie doing very well.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of Rey fans, bro. There's a lot of Rey fans. Don't sleep on it. And I'm not going to sleep on it either. Any fucking Star Wars movie has potential to be the best one yet. It does. Is that going to happen? No, probably not. Because obviously the trilogy is fucking amazing. And yeah, it might have aged a little bit. But the concept is still there, and that's the movies we fell in love with. Prequels, you can pick apart. I mean, I'm a prequel fan. I love the prequels. Those are my favorite three. But you could definitely pick them apart. I could do it myself. And then the sequel trilogy, yeah. But whenever you have a Star Wars movie, it always has a potential to break through. It just does.
And live action Snow White.
I don't give a fuck.
I have no words. But I guess we'll see what happens. And that's all from me. I've been Snarky Jay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, I will.
Snarky Jay. Be sure to check me out on Instagram. And if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I will.
Alright, you heard the chick. Alright, so yeah, this is a really, really good video by Snarky Jay. Never seen her before. I like the video. So yeah. Go hit her up with the like. Let's actually look at the comments real quick. Why not? Why not? Okay. Given how often they are attacked, their own fans over the past several years, they deserve what they are getting. I don't know about that. I don't like hate, you know. Disney's ship collided with the iceberg as soon as they decided with that DEI should be the main focus of all projects. It's sinking a slow death ever since then. Okay, well, can you put a date on when they started doing that? And how do you define DEI, right? With Star Wars, with just women, I mean, I loved Finn, and I feel like they didn't do Finn enough justice. If you're thinking DEI, I would assume that Finn would have been a Jedi, right? You know, he would have been the main character, but no, he was a side character, and all they told him to do was scream Rey, and they fucked up my boy's hairline, so yeah. I wish they would bring back. Actually, no. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. Jay being snarky is why I'm here. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's the video. That's my thoughts on this topic. It's not my complete. This isn't everything I think. So yeah, consider subscribing, like the video, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I really like when people comment and say their opinions, and it is just I still can't get over the fact that I can post a video and people will let me know what they think. And they might not live anywhere close to me. Wow, what a time to live in. I'm so humbled and blessed by it. Thank you for everyone watching. Stay safe out there, and if you're having a bad day or it's not a good day, I hope this could have helped take your minds off of things just for a couple minutes, right? But yeah, my name's Trey Swish. This is the Ether. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Deuces.